3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to the Quality Antics podcast. My name is Dave and I'm your host. And this podcast is all about interviewing people from all different walks of life doing amazing things. In today's episode, we have Hannah. Now, she's a young Instagrammer that I met through the DMs, and she's doing some cool things studying, so I thought I'd sit down with her and have a chat. Welcome, Hannah. Really good to have you here in the studio today. Can you start off by just telling the audience a little bit about yourself and what you're up to, mate?
What I'm up to? I am, I suppose, a photographer on Instagram, kind of. And I don't know what to say about myself, to be honest. How do I talk about myself? I do the Instagram thing. Nothing really very exciting.
Right. Do you study at all?
I do study. I'm studying teaching, and I'm living up in Wellington. Not a Christchurch creative.
No, that's cool.
Past Christchurch creative.
This is my first non-Christchurch guest, I think, on the podcast. So really good to be broadening out to the North Island. You're my first North Island guest.
Woo.
Now, Hannah and I met in the Instagram DMs where she probably commented saying, oh, hey, lush photo or something. You know, one of those.
No, I remember how we met. I literally DM'd you because I wanted you to film something for me.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So she wanted someone to film something. So she was like, oh, yeah, I'll get this guy to do it.
Yeah.
And then since then, we've kind of just caught up every now and again and randomly, and just like, you're just like a social media friend that has turned into a real friend. So it's good to have you here on the podcast, mate.
Honoured. Thank you.
Now, Hannah's a bit of a coffee
no.
fiend. Hannah, talk to us about your coffee obsession. When did that start?
Coffee obsession. My coffee obsession started when I was like 15 or something. And I ordered a coffee to impress someone. And it's been a downhill spiral ever since. Yeah.
So you tell us the full story about that. Who you were trying to impress?
Who was I trying to impress? Literally someone else from Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Chase versus everything. I think I've showed you his profile a whole bunch of times.
So then from that, you're now a bit of a coffee fiend. You're not just like having an instant every day.
Never.
Why? What is your blend of choice and why?
What is my blend of choice? Woo. This is kind of basic, but like just the Rangitoto roast from All Press Espresso. Shout out to All Press.
Okay.
I'm in love with All Press.
Cool.
Can we just like promote All Press for the next 5 minutes? Because
No.
I love them so much.
Rangitoto.
I think
blend,
it's
is
the
that what it's called?
Rangitoto roast,
Okay.
or is what they call it. I don't know. I just know it's called Rangitoto.
Lovely.
Or something like that. It's very good.
I love how we started the podcast just like
talking about coffee.
she takes photos. Oh, she likes coffee. This is your favorite. This is your favorite coffee.
Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Cool.
It's the blend that they use downstairs.
Oh, okay.
Same blend.
Downstairs at the HQ she's referring to, which is our headquarters that we're recording this from
Oh yeah.
at the moment.
At
Now
the
let's
moment.
pivot back to social media.
Social media.
So why do you post your photos online?
Oh, that's a tough question. I don't really know. Because I used to YouTube like way back in the day properly.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of did the Instagram, YouTube, Twitter thing all together, and I would just like plug everything, and it was kind of like a thing that happened. And then I fell off YouTube. I just didn't love it anymore, so I kept Instagramming. I deleted all my social media for a while. I didn't have like a Facebook, a Twitter. The only thing I kept was an Instagram, and that's probably why everything goes onto Instagram now, and that's why I love my Instagram so much.
Okay. Why do you think you kept Instagram out of all of those? Is it something about the platform itself, or?
I just really liked taking my photos and sharing them, and so I just kept Instagram. I felt like that was where I got the most engagement as well at the time. So I was kind of like, well, people seem to like what I post, so I'll keep posting.
Yeah. Let's just take the platform that's kind of you're vibing with at the moment, and people are enjoying. So let's just roll with that.
Yeah. And then I like probably stopped YouTubing like a year ago. I'm longer than that now, maybe like 2 years ago. And I just on Instagram, and now people know my Instagram, and I'm scared.
Cool.
We go places, and people are like, I know your Instagram.
Cool. So if someone who is not on Instagram or doesn't use that platform and they want to know about what the kind of photos that you like taking or what they're going to expect if they do jump across, because they're not going to pause the podcast. They're addicted. No, they might pause the podcast actually, but if they want to jump across, what kind of photos do you take, and what are you jamming?
What kind of photos do I take?
Is it landscape? Is it portraits? Is it?
It's kind of just a mix of whatever's going on in my life. I did recently a row of film photos that was one of my two of my best friends and then one of me, and it was kind of like for each of my friends I wrote like a little thing about them, and then for the one of me I put like me at 19 or whatever, because it was just like a little documentation thing. Sometimes I get real wild and I take some real alty photos and
yeah. And what's your inspiration behind those alty photos where it's not like a real basic, like, you know, some of your concepts that you're doing lately are quite cool, like they're out there and they're different, but like where do you get the inspiration? Is it from searching online? Is it Pinterest? Is it like, I don't know, is it...
Most of my concepts are based around something that I write. So I'll write like, because I quite like writing. I write everything down basically by hand.
Wow.
So I'll write, but just like write how I'm feeling down or something, and it'll come out in like a kind of artsy-ish sort of way, and I'm like, hang on, I could make a cool photo set from this, so I'll do it. Just because I wrote something really whack.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Has that always been the way with you, that you like writing things down compared to, I don't know, vlogging the entire thing, or you like just thinking about it in your head? Do you like the process of writing? To you, does that clarify your thoughts, or is it just nice to spew those ideas out on the page, or like,
I feel
why
like
write?
I can create a lot better, or like there's more purpose to what I'm making if I write. It's not like a scripted or planned thing either. It's just kind of like I'll write out how I'm feeling, or I'll see, there was something that I wrote the other day about like the sun and how it comes through. Like, I live in central Wellington and there's 2 buildings where the sun just comes right between them into my room, and so I wrote this thing about the sun, and then I came up with a whole concept, and it's just kind of like, yeah, and you just write something and it just happens. It's real weird.
Oh, I can't imagine that though. Like, so how many hours of the day do you have sun access? If there's that gap, is it like a few hours, or is it like the whole day?
It kind of depends.
Oh wow.
It's hard to explain. Like, the sun will come up and it'll come into my room, and then it'll go behind a building, and it'll come into my room, and then it'll go behind another building.
Oh, okay.
And then it'll come into my room again.
So the buildings aren't super close, like, so there's not just like a thin gap of sun.
There's
it's
like a
just
decent
patches throughout the day.
Yeah, there's a decent size gap between the rest of the buildings. But yeah, no, for like, yeah. Also, yeah, just being like outside, or like, I really like sunlight. So sunlight, I always feel like really motivated to create something whenever I've got like lots of sun in my room. So that works really well. I'm always motivated.
Cool. When you got sunlight.
Yeah.
So if we rewind before we start talking about your uni story, and like what you're doing at uni and how you're finding that whole process, and because I'm interested in that sort of thing, tell us a little bit more about like in terms of growing up, and it could be more about education, but it can be kind of whatever you want. Like, what were some of the adventures, the journeys that you went on kind of growing up to get to where you are today?
That's I left school really early. I left school when I was in year 11, so I was 16 when I left high school, I think. Maybe I was younger than that, don't know. And so that definitely shaped a lot of what I did from there on out, because everyone else was still in school, and I did a couple of like certificates, and then I started working at cafe. I worked at Hello Sunday for a year and a half. That changed my life for sure. I would not have been where I am today without Hello Sunday. It was just kind of, I don't know, no one else my age was out of school, so I kind of just did my own thing, and I didn't really care. I just started creating because I wanted to, and then there was no one to judge me. I didn't have to go to school and face all the other teenagers, so I was just like, I can do what I want.
Cool. So why did you leave school though? Was there a reason behind that? Was there like a motivator that was like, boom, whoa, I want to leave school now? Or was it like a gradual thing, or
I stopped probably like officially going to classes at the end of year 10. And then I kind of bummed my way through year 11 a little bit. I passed with like 20 credits.
Just like scraping through.
Yeah, I got like 23 credits. So I got the loophole of 10 English, 10 math.
Yeah.
And then after that, I was like, they were like, you can either, because I wanted to take all these photography classes and all these classes in year 12. And they were like, you didn't pass with enough credits. You can either reset year 11 or you can like...
Ugh. And you were like,
and I was just like,
see ya.
nah, see ya.
Yeah.
So I just left. I was like, nah. And I was at like a decent school too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was just not having it. I was not going to reset a year. And I don't know. I didn't love school in the end. Yeah, I don't know.
Well then, okay, transitioning now. So you left school.
Left school.
Hello Sunday was involved doing a bit of... Did that help with your love of the cafe scene, because you're into that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Being around that environment, did that possibly fuel that fire?
Hello Sunday is where it all sort of started. So originally I didn't like just get a job at Hello Sunday. I was a regular customer there. I go there every day. I get a coffee. Like everyone knew me. And then from there, it kind of was a little bit of like a bit of a yarn. We were all like, oh, Hannah's looking for a job. Like Chris needed some extra hands, and he was like, oh, you can do some work experience. And so I'd work a couple of shifts, and then I just kind of turned into a part-timer. I was just like, ended up working there. So It was kind of like, yeah, that for sure was like, I used to go into Hello Sunday before I would work there and take photos. Like I found photos from 2 years ago in there today.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. I was like, what a grow up.
Cool. And then from Hello Sunday though, and then you're all of a sudden, now you're going down this route of like getting into uni and crushing it up in Wellington. Like,
Plot
what
twist.
made you want to do that, and how's that process been?
What made me want to do that? So I went to summer school at University of Canterbury, and I was gonna go to University of Canterbury this year, and start my degree. And then I didn't get into University of Canterbury because the intake was full. And I'm not about waiting a year to have to do things. So so I was kind of looked at my options, and I was like, oh well, I can go. I had two options: was I could go to Auckland or I could go to Wellington. Or I could wait a year, and I was not really feeling that. So I started applying to other unis, and I didn't think I would really get in because I applied in January.
And when did they start?
They
February,
start
March.
You start in February.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So pretty late. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, I applied and had moved to Wellington. I think I had like 2 weeks notice between finding out I was leaving Christchurch and moving into my dorm. Like there was 2 weeks. It got hectic real quick.
Crazy.
But yeah, I just decided that Wellington were gonna be. They were super easy about it. So I was just like, sweet, see ya.
Yeah.
Packed up my life.
Yeah. And so you're pretty fresh new into it. How's it all going? How was the transition from Christchurch to Wellington? And how's the scene been? You know, like learning your way around a new city.
Yeah.
How have you found that?
It's really buzzy because I've never been. I've lived in Christchurch up until this point all my life. Never, like, between when I left and coming back for this trip, this has been the longest I've ever been away from Christchurch in my life. So it's just real buzzy. Like, I don't know anyone. I don't know anything about the city. And with Christchurch, I knew a lot of what was going on, and I knew people, and I was kind of, it got to the point where I kind of couldn't really go many places without seeing someone I knew. And going to Wellington, not knowing anyone, sort of just being like, oh, this is different.
There's this whole new world out here though.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
So it's been wild, and it's been good because it's, I don't know, definitely a wake up call on things that I hadn't mastered in life, such as organisation. I am definitely more organised now. My life is far more together than it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
Have you missed a lecture yet?
I missed a lecture first week.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I didn't go to my first lecture for one of my classes.
What? Why? What were you doing?
So my timetable, I didn't get it for a week after everything started. So I missed my first lecture for for like 2 of my classes.
Okay.
No regrets. Apparently she cried in the first class too, the lecturer, so
Whoa.
I'm real gutted I missed it.
Whoa. Yeah, I had a similar story, like something with my uni sign up years and years ago. It's like I missed the memo about some like barbecue / like meet up the day before you officially started. So I missed that and then turned up the day after and everyone already kind of started to know people and I was
yeah.
wait, what? There was something already been? What? I'm late? And it was weird. It was awkward. It was strange. But okay, cool. So you're how long are you going to be in Welly for? How many years is your degree?
My degree is 3 years and then I'm probably going to stay an extra year and do like, I don't know, what is it, honours after?
Yep.
Which
Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Because then I can teach early childhood and I can teach primary.
Okay.
So there's a lot more range and
Big
job
scope for you,
opportunity,
yeah.
if you will. And so I'll do definitely 3 years up there. Definitely maybe 3 years up there. Is that like a thing? So 3 years there, and then I'll either come back here and do honours and then work, or I will do honours there and come back. Oh, or definitely come back here to teach because I know everyone. I know a lot more. Like I went to
Feel more comfortable, yeah. I guess
6 or 7 different schools as well over like between primary and high school. So I know enough schools that I can be like, hello.
Yeah, but you never know. You could meet a lovely partner in Wellington and be like, I want to start a life in Wellington, and it could be game changing. You never know.
Probably, yeah. Like I think now that I've lived there, like I'll definitely come back here for a while, but I think Wellington's going to be home. So I don't know, maybe I'll come back here and teach for a little bit and then go back to Wellington or something. But I feel very at home at Wellington, like in Wellington. And I've come back here to Christchurch and I've spun this yarn. Everyone keeps going on about how's Wellington. I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to going home. And everyone goes home.
Yeah,
I get ripped out all the time for calling Wellington home now.
I guess you've established it as your little home now.
Yeah.
So you're in the halls, aren't you?
I am.
Yeah. And how's that experience been? Few big nights, few wild parties.
Yeah, There's been a few nights that I would call pretty wild. Oh my goodness me.
So how many people are in your like hall, or like this is like a dormitory for those people? Like, wait, what? It's like a big dorm where you can just kind of everyone's going to uni and they all eat together.
Yeah.
And how do you do your washing? Do you do all that yourself in your own little pod?
Yeah. So it's washing is $2 a load. It's a rip. It's so expensive. And there's only 2 washing machines on each floor, and there's about 30 kids on each floor, so it's a nightmare. I normally do my washing at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Because I study until like 2 anyway, so I'm kind of
good time to just like get it done when no one else is around.
Yeah, exactly. That's the way I've been doing it.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. Or just be really smelly.
Yeah. Oh no, thank you.
There must be some people who are like that. Who are like, stuff that.
Oh my goodness me, I have so many stories about that. It's just so gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's like 300 kids in the building, not including like RAs or anything.
Yeah,
so there's probably like between 320. There's probably like 325 people all up in the building. So the queues at 5:30 for dinner are a nightmare.
Do the RAs, what is the RA's role for those people who don't know what an RA is? What does an RA do? And do they get to cut the line?
Yeah, they do. They actually do. I'm friends with all the RAs too, so it works out great in my favour. I go, hey guys, how's your day been? Sneak into the line. I'm like, yeah.
So what is an RA and what do they do? Really quickly for those people who don't know.
Oh yeah, like residential advisors. So they're just there to help you out if anything goes to like a massive disaster in your life.
Yeah. And are they older or younger or what?
They're like the same age as me, but like they're older than most of the students. Everyone in my building is, because it's a fresher hall or like a first year hall. So everyone in my building is like 17, 18.
Yeah.
No, youngest RA is, I think I'm older than her, so she's like 19.
Yeah.
And then the rest of them are like 20, 21. So
nice.
like, yeah.
What let's pivot to back to your photography work.
Really?
What camera are you operating at the moment?
Oh no.
And if you don't want to talk about that, maybe what camera do you want, or what are you looking for gear-wise in the future? Like, what do you shoot your photos with, and how does that go for you?
Okay, so I'm shooting on my phone currently. That was such a stitch up. You knew that.
No, that's cool. Yeah.
Shooting on my iPhone 8 Plus, which sounds bougie.
Swanky.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally bought it for the camera, because I didn't want to fork out for a new camera at the time. And I had an alright camera on it, so I decided that was how I was going to play the game.
No, cool.
I'm undecided on if I want a new DSLR or if I want to get another film camera. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, so Hannah do you still have film cameras or no?
Yeah, I still have a film camera.
She has the old school film cameras that she likes to cruise around with, and they're quite hipster and funky, and so that's kind of part of her vibe, her persona, is like kind of being a bit hip. Just letting you know now.
I'm oldie AF.
Yeah. So you want to get a new film camera?
Yeah.
What makes a good film camera?
What makes a good film camera?
They just have to be old. or there are certain models. Is it just like cameras nowadays that there are some that are better than others?
Yeah, it's just, I think it kind of depends on what you want to use it for. It's the same as new cameras, really. It's what you want to use it for, what film you're shooting. Probably you want to have a think about what type of photo you're going to shoot, and then you want to think about the film that you're going to use to shoot that photo. But I'm real basic, and I just use the cheap film because student life.
Yeah. And if you were going to get a DSLR, have you thought about that and what one you'd get and what lenses and all that sort of stuff? Or are you I'll just sort that later down the track if you're ever going to do that?
I haven't recently thought about it. I was shooting Canon for a really long time, and then I shot Sony for a little bit, Sony A7. That was quite nice.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, that was a nice camera. I took that to Vancouver, and that was amazing over there. I had these old Pentax screw mount lenses that I was using on that, and that was
cool,
crisp images.
Yeah. She's frothing over these images here. She's loving it.
It was so good. It was such a nice, with the Pentax lenses. It was that was ideal. I would do that again 100%.
Yeah, cool.
But yeah, money.
Yeah, it's an important thing. So why are you doing the degree that you have chosen? Why teaching? Why are you interested in that sort of space?
So I always wanted to work with young children, and originally I started studying nursing for quite the while. Yep. I did a year of nursing stuff, and I always wanted to go into peds because I have a history in peds, and my stepdad works in peds, so it's kind of just oh yeah, kids cute, and I get to help them and that kind of thing. And then the more I sort of did my sciences, it worked out that I had a very large chunk of information missing from not attending high school. But also I kind of thought about it a lot, and I didn't know if I wanted to be with the sick kids. I just didn't know if I could, because it's so awful, them being sick. And I was well,
really full on. Yeah,
I was well, hang on, what if I still work with kids, but when they're more healthy, you're really helping them learn, and it's an important age. I sound like I've been studying teaching already. It's an important age and stuff. No, I think especially early childhood, where that's the first sort of stage of them becoming who they're gonna be,
learning to learn and discovering themselves and interacting with others and all that good stuff. And
they're so cute.
Yeah. But it must be I haven't thought about it too much, but it's daunting being because I was an ex-high school teacher, teaching students at that age, but lots of things have already been established by then, when they come to me at 13 or 16 or something. But then going back to, hey, I'm working with this 4-year-old or 5-year-old or 8-year-old, whatever, every day, man, it must be. And just making sure that, but how much do you think that weighs on the teachers, they actually have a huge influence, the teacher, in shaping someone, or is it parents and teacher equally, or is it more parents that kind of shape your childhood? Big questions here.
This is I like this. This is good. This is making me think about what I'm actually studying, which I haven't done in a week. So, I feel I feel like when it comes to the very early ages, it's like a lot to do with probably parents at home, because it's a lot of like they
one-on-one time,
mirror, and that's how they develop their skills and stuff. Oh my goodness, I can't believe what I sound like right now. But then also going to preschool or like whatever is really important as well, because that's where they get like the social side of things. So it's kind of like both, but also like at home is important too, like really important.
Yeah, no, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, because like early on when it's just pretty much just you and your parent at home, and the music they play, the way that they speak to you, the way they speak to other people, you're actually absorbing so much of that, and it's quite interesting like to think about how that's kind of shaping you. But then when you go to the next level, when you go into like preschool or primary school, it's scary to think that one push from a rude kid or like some incident at school could drastically like change your life. It could like make you afraid of something or make you really sheepish around other people, because when you were 6 something happened or a couple of things happened, and like Jimmy in your class was actually really horrible, you know, and that's like spooky, but it's also positive because it could be spun the other way, and your interactions could be really awesome, and then that could mean that you're really confident or friendly around people. So for sure. Pretty awesome that that's your response. Part of your role is to like help shape the youth. It's
definitely a hefty thing to think about when you think about it like that.
Yeah. Right, let's take a wee break from the deep chat, and let's dive into the deep chat of the hat. This is where we have topics and questions and whatnot. Can you grab something out and let's see what the question or the topic is? We'll try and smash through a couple of these today.
What is this?
I don't know.
Oh, what was the last book you read?
Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to think. Hannah, you can go first.
I can go first. Well, okay. Well, aside from my textbook, it was...
Nerd.
I have to, I'm sorry. Call Me By Your Name. Which is...
Okay.
Yeah.
Call Me By Your Name, okay.
Yeah, it was recently made into a movie. It's quite gay. It's about 2 boys that like fall in love or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, I found out it was a movie, and I was like, hang on, it's a book first. So I read the book just before I saw the movie.
Yeah. And how did you find the book?
The book was it was because I believe it's translated.
Yep.
So there were little bits of it that were kind of hard to follow, and it was quite wordy, and it's also like Italian based. So it kind of was a bit. It was hard to follow in some places, but also it's a really good story. So I enjoyed it. It was a good time. Better than the textbook, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow. For me, I don't know about you, but like I don't read books, but then when I do, I like go for it. So I like over summer, when we're away for like 3 weeks, I'll read like 10 books, and then I won't read for the rest of the year. But then like my holidays, my time to read and just like consume stuff, because there's no technology, and you might use your camera for like an hour a day filming stuff, and then it's just like you get a good story. And like for me, I like trashy stuff like the Jack Reacher series, like Lee Child books of like him going on adventures, and I love businessy kind of related books by like Gary Vaynerchuk's one of my business people that I follow, so I read some of his books. But it's like all go. It's like read, and then don't read anything all year. I'm just trying to think. I'd love to get into the habit of reading every night before bed, but I just don't. It just never happens.
You're always editing.
Yeah.
It's always on Instagram.
Not anymore. Hey, not anymore. I'm
true.
leaving my laptop at the studio now, at the office.
Look at that.
Yeah, but I'm always podcasting. I listen to podcasts before bed, like every night.
Wow.
Religiously, so... Like I'll lie in bed and be like, I just need something. So boom, I put a podcast on. And so I haven't read a book in a while. Let's answer another question. Go Should it be a brown piece of paper or this one? Let's go this one.
This makes me nervous.
Okay. We're going to go for 3 questions because this one's a bit of a dud, but it's still interesting. Summer or winter?
Summer or winter?
Yep. And why?
Oh, and why? Winter. I really like winter. Winter. No, I'm going to stick with winter. And I like the cold, which sounds really lame because I've complained about the cold ever since I arrived in Christchurch.
Yeah.
But
there is something about the cold that is quite nice.
Yeah, I really like the cold because it's like snuggly and movies and, you know,
Yeah.
and also it reminds me a lot of Vancouver. And I really liked Vancouver. So, I guess that probably is why I really like winter as well. Like,
Nice.
yeah.
Okay, yeah, for me, my gut's telling me summer, because I love long nights,
Yeah.
like where it's bright at like 10 o'clock, and I love that. And in New Zealand, yeah, it like stays bright till like really late over the summer, which is really nice. But then there's something about the winter that like over the last few mornings and like days and evenings, I've been like going outside and been like, man, it's just really fresh and like nice right now. But I don't know if I would commit to like a year of winter, you know.
Oh, I so would like that. I love winter.
But I like jandals. I like wearing shorts. I like being able to walk around the house in a singlet. It's like nice.
Yeah, if you have your house warm enough, I'm sure you can still do that in winter.
Yeah, but who's paying their bill? It's like, ugh.
Not me.
But I do like it being absolutely cold as hell outside.
Yeah.
Raining, and then going to
love
bed
the
and it being
rain.
warm. Yeah, that's ideal. But like,
The rain is actually a really inspiring thing
yeah.
for me as well.
Yeah.
Rain.
yeah, I can imagine that happening. Yeah, for a while there, I did the rain before bed, so I'd be like, shh, and on my phone while I'd be like trying to sleep, and that was quite nice.
For sure.
Quite lush. Let's go for one more because that one was lame. Remember, so let's go for it. Lucky ducky last. It could be lame as well, but
Shit.
whoa. Just remember while Hannah's, before she reads that if you want to submit a question to the hat, all you need to do is email me at qualityanticspodcast@gmail.com or just send me a message on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, all those social pipes at Quality Antics. Right, Hannah, what are we talking?
Who's the something? Yeah.
Okay, right.
Help me
my
out.
Goodness.
I
what is
ripped it.
this?
I'm so sorry.
Oh my gosh.
What is this?
I know who this is written by. Okay, so the question is, who's the dustiest person you know?
Dustiest person.
This
you
is
know.
sweet spelling. So this must have been written by Beans, or a friend of the show. He likes to use the word dusty, and dusty's for like something that is bad. So who's the worst person you know? What on earth? What kind of question is that, Beans? Thanks for that,
Surely
mate.
not.
Dustiest person I know, just straight off my head, probably Beans actually.
I was gonna say, are you gonna say Beans?
Nah, he's dusty because
He put that
works,
question in there?
Yeah, he put that question in there. He works as a nurse, which I'm not saying that's dusty, but I'm saying his work schedule's really all over the show, and he works like 3 days a week. Yeah, he works 3 days a week, but I never see the guy. He's always sleeping because he's like having to recover because they'll do like big nights and days, and he's just all over the show. And why else is he dusty? He has pretty average tattoos that I love winding him up about. And he likes he's got a bit of an ego on him nowadays. Beans, if you're listening, just check yourself, mate. Because he's got a bit of an ego, and you'll hear that on the podcast. He's just getting a bit of muscles there, and people are complimenting on that. And so he loves just knocking everyone else around him down about their fitness and being like, oh, you're not coming to the gym enough and all that sort of stuff.
You're not going.
So, mate, you're dusty. Hannah, have you got anyone that you want to call out here on the podcast?
I am next level anxious about this.
You don't have to.
I actually had to do this once. Oh, we played this game on like Pulsar once when we did this, and I was like, mate, I think I'm gonna lose my job doing this.
Gold. Anyone to call out?
Nah, not on a podcast, eh?
Gold.
Oh, I feel like I could dustiest person I know. One of my RAs is pretty dusty.
Okay. What's wrong with mystery RA?
Mystery RA. He's just real irritating, and he's just got crap banter, to be honest. And he thinks he's hilarious. He thinks he's really great.
Yeah.
And he's just not that good.
But you're not going to name him, but just so you're out there, if you're an RA...
for Victoria University, watch your back.
Hannah's calling you out. All right, thanks for coming by, Hannah. If people want to find out more about you or reach out to you in the DMs or whatever,
follow me on Instagram.
How can they find you?
I am at Hannah_Becka on Instagram. I just butchered my own Instagram. Hannah_Becka with 2 A's. And Yeah.
Spell that out for us, please. Just so everyone can, as they're typing it in.
HANNAH_Becka. Let me check before I say this out loud.
It's your own username.
BECKAA.
Cool. And that's the best way to contact you. There's no Facebook page. There's no YouTube channel. There's no...
Oh, there's a YouTube channel that is kind of...
Hannah, I'll step in. Hannah uploads monthly.
Kind of.
So...
my YouTube channel's pretty dusty.
Yeah. That could have been your call out.
To myself.
She committed to uploading monthly, so there are nuggets of gold there, little bits of content every month. So make sure you go have a watch at her
it's
YouTube channel.
YouTube.com/Hannah Space, maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
HANNAH.
Let's sort out your social links.
SPACE, I think. Yeah, no, that was my old YouTube
When
name.
can we expect to see a new video from you?
I'm gonna aim
People demand videos.
You demand videos. I'm gonna aim to have one up before I go home. And I go home on Monday, so in the next 3 days. Maybe.
Good. I'm looking forward to that.
Uh-oh.
Sweet. Thanks for coming by. It's been a blast. And
Yeah.
take care up in Wellington and stay lush.
Shall do.
Sweet. See you, mate.
Cheers.
Massive thanks for tuning in for this episode of the Quality Antics podcast. If you want to catch up with us or send us a question for the hat, just hit me up at Quality Antics on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Snapchat, all of the social pipes. Or send us an email at qualityanticspodcast@gmail.com. Have a good one.